I am not here today. You guys still have to do a lab, so I'm going to talk you through how to do the mass versus weight lab. Mass versus weight lab, really straightforward. Here's some stuff that you need for the lab. You need to grab a scale, a spring scale, a mass hanger, and a bunch of masses. All those things are in the back of the room by where the fire extinguisher is and the printer. If you don't know what these things look like, I guess I can show you. Spring scale. Spring scale is this thing. Looks like this. Also may look like this. Spring scale allows you to hang masses on it, and then it reads you the weight. Weight is measured in newtons. Mass hanger, I'll show you what that looks like too. Mass hanger kind of looks like this thing. On it, it will say how many grams the mass hanger is, and it allows you to place other masses on it, which are also indicated with how many grams they are, so you can vary how much mass you place onto the spring scale. And then you need a bunch of different masses that are also back there. Here's the procedure. Get the stuff from the back, create a data table of mass and weight. Just some quick definitions that I think you guys remember from earlier classes. Mass is how much stuff an object is made up of. Mass is written right on the mass. We're going to measure mass in kilograms. We're going to convert that from grams. Weight is how hard gravity is pulling down on the stuff inside of the mass. Weight is what the scale reads, and in this class we're going to measure weight in newtons. So read that directly from the scale. In terms of the procedure, hang a mass on the scale. Record how much mass is hanging on the scale by reading the amount of mass that you placed on the scale. Measure the weight of said mass in newtons by looking at the spring scale and identifying how much weight there is. Repeat this process until you have 7 measurements. With a partner, just one partner, so there's not 4 people sitting at a computer, go to a computer, open up Excel, create a scatter plot of weight on the y-axis and mass on the x-axis. Include estimates of error when you're making your measurements. There's probably not too much error in the mass itself, but there might be some error in the weight in terms of how to read the spring scale. So make sure that you add error bars in the y direction, the direction of the weight. Add a trend line. If it looks like a straight line, make it a straight line. If it looks like a parabola, make the trend line fit a parabola. And display the equation of the trend line on the graph. I'll quickly show you guys how to do that. If you open up Excel, oh man, look at that, I already have a pre-made data table. Mass measured in kilograms, weight measured in newtons. I'll just make up a few values. Let's say I have 0.8 kilograms and I read 7.8 newtons, 0.2 kilograms, and 1.9 newtons. And then how about 1.5 kilograms? It's a lot of kilograms for this lab. And 15.6 newtons. So you guys are going to have 7 measurements. I only have 3 in the interest of time. Highlight the data you want to make the graph of. Click on Insert. Right here is a scatter plot. Scatter plot's like plotting on graph paper. Click that. Create a scatter plot where the lines are not yet connected, so we can connect it with a trend line. Click. Check to make sure that Excel did what we wanted it to. We want weight on the y-axis. Let's check those numbers. Yeah, that looks good for us. And we want mass on the x-axis. Also looks good. You guys know how to give it a title and axis titles. So I'll show you guys how to do the error bars. Click on error bars. Click this little arrow. Go to more options. Horizontal error bars. Side to side is the mass. We don't really have any error in the mass, so I can just set a fixed value of 0 in terms of the mass. If I go up here, in the y direction is the weight. Once I label my axes, click on that. Fixed value of whatever you estimate the error in your measurements to be. Let's say I estimated at 0.15 newtons. Click 0.15 newtons, and the error bars show up, even though they are very small. The next step is to add a trend line. So click on the little plus sign. Click on this. Looks like a straight line to me. Click on check mark for add trend line. I'm going to click more options. I want this to be linear because this appears to be a straight line. Let's see what other options we have. Trend line, more options. Linear because we want it to be a straight line. Set intercept. Let's see. An intercept would mean that At 0 weight, there is 0 mass. And with 0 mass, there is 0 weight. That kind of makes sense to me, so I'll set the intercept at 0. When there's no mass hanging on the scale will read no value. So that's going to kind of change our trend line a little bit to show that. Where did that go? If it goes away, you can always just click back on the plus, go to trend line, more options. There we go. Sorry. So if it goes away, you can always click on the little plus, click on trend line, more options. Scroll down. So we set the intercept at 0. Display equation on chart. Cool, there we go. So that's the equation of the slope of the line. You guys can label your the chart title and label the axes. And then that's it. On a Word document, I would like you guys to copy and paste both the chart as well as your data table. Put that into a Word document, put your names on it, print one out for each member of your group, and that's it in terms of this lab for today.